Hey guys, Donnie RightSide here. Bookmakers review Monday Night Football, the final game of Wild Card Weekend. That's a game between the Minnesota Vikings and the Los Angeles Rams. 385, 386 on the rotation. An 8 o'clock start on Monday Night Football. How about this? Home team usually gets home field advantage, right, for the Rams. They were supposed to play at SoFi. This game has since been moved from SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles to Glendale, Arizona because of the wildfires in the city of Los Angeles. That's a tough break for the Rams, but it had to happen for the NFL and this game to go on. If we're looking at the numbers, that line now sits as a 2.5-point favorite towards the Minnesota Vikings. The total now sits at 47.5 to 48.5, depending on where you're shopping at. Minnesota last week was fighting for the number one overall seed in a game against Detroit. In Detroit, they lost that game. To the victors go the spoils. The Detroit Lions now the number one overall seed with the week off. And the losing team, Minnesota, had to fly back home and then fly out to the West Coast, which now turns out to be Glendale, Arizona, to play a wild card game instead of resting here. Sam Darnold was not very good at all versus Detroit. We're looking for a bounce-back effort. But the Rams in their final game of the season rested their starters. So Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Kyron Williams, Matthew Stafford, all were able to get healthy during that week, which he didn't have the luxury for the Minnesota Vikings. Having said that, I do think Minnesota is going to be game, and also, as we just said, not having to deal with home field advantage is going to be big, and quite frankly, you might have more Rams fans there in that stadium than you would more Minnesota Vikings fans than Rams fans. For me, I do think Minnesota is going to win this game, but we're going to take a look at a couple props that I think make some sense. Aaron Jones, it's clear, bothered the past couple weeks here with that thigh injury, hoping this week that clears because multiple times this season he's recorded 20 or more rushes in the past 2 games, 10 carries and 12 carries respectively. That's not good enough. They need to have a ground game, and I think it starts there. If he is healthy, which he is a few weeks out now of that quad injury, we're going to look to 15-plus touches in this game out of the backfield, and that should equate to at least 59.5 rushing yards. That's the first prop bet we're going to take. Secondly, in this game, if we are looking at a neutral site here in a dome, we're not worried about any weather conditions, and quite frankly, the fans might not have that big of an impact as they would possibly in Los Angeles. So 2 teams on an even playing field. I think we get points in this one. The rested and ready Rams here with Sean McVay as their head coach / offensive coordinator and those talented weapons at wide receiver getting a week to take a break here, that's big. Also, Sam Darnold cannot have a performance like he had last week against Detroit, but Detroit is an upper-level defense. I do think points will be scored. We're going to go over 47.5 points in this wild card game. Rams taking on the Vikings in Glendale, Arizona. We'll hit the over 47.5, and once again, Aaron Jones over 59.5 rushing yards. I'm Donnie RightSide for Bookmakers Review, and as always, good luck on those wagers.